Grandpa Seeley. Who knows Grandpa Seeley? Who, from pictures? That is Aunt Colleen's dad and Aunt Debbie's dad and Aunt Bona's dad. Do you remember seeing pictures of Grandpa Seeley? Okay, well, some of my best stories are of Grandpa. And later, you'll remember him as when he's a grandpa, or when he's a grandpa. Of course, they are grandpas. But my best stories are thinking back about certain things that would happen with Grandpa. And this particular time, I was traveling with my brother-in-law, Lane, and I was probably in about my 20s, and we had decided to stop in and see Grandpa because he was on his little farm out there in Bridgeland, and I knew that his best friend, old Walt, who looked just like Festus Hagen from Gunsmoke, was with him. So Lane and I pulled into the yard, and we were going to go talk to him about something. And at the time, here they were, these two legendary sheep herders, and they are herding their sheep in the orchard. Now, you would think a legendary sheep herder has a whole bunch of sheep, right? Well, they maybe had 30, and they had one old sheep that they'd found on the highway, and they couldn't give it back to anybody. They were so honest, they were trying to find the owner, and the highway patrol told them, keep that damn sheep and take it home. So they had this old sheep in their herd. So anyways, Lane and I are like wanting to talk to them, but they just said, hey, you two, just sit down for a minute. We're herding these sheep, and we need to get this one sheep out of this flock. And, okay, he says, do you need any help? No, they said, we've got this in hand. And they pushed these sheep down in the corner of this orchard. And then they took out 3 fence panels that were about the size of, oh, maybe 10 foot long and 4 foot high. And they took these fence panels and put one here, and one here, and they tied them to the pasture fence, so they had a little sheep corral. Then they opened up the sheep fence there, and they pushed this whole huge herd of 30 sheep into this pen. And then they closed it. Now, they wanted to get one sheep out of that herd. And of course, Lane and I jumped up about that time and said, don't worry, we'll get it for you. And they were like, no, 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 no. You two young whippersnappers just sit down and watch how 2 pro sheep herders work this with little effort. Well, I'm thinking, I can just jump in there, grab that sheep, throw it out to Lane, and we're out of here. No, 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 no. We're going to show you how old, skilled sheep herders do this. Okay, so we sat back down. And they took 1 baling twine around each panel. Now, that's important. 1. I thought, any legendary sheep herder I know would maybe use 2 or 3. But no, they just used 1. That's all they needed.
They're that good.
They are that good. And then they stood in front of the panel. So you got 2 side panels in this panel. And then they cut the 1 string so that the 1 panel could open up. And with Walt here and Grandpa Seeley here, they opened the pen. And guess what? 1 sheep went through, and they shut the gate. And they looked up at us. Pretty slick, huh? Opened it, one sheep, they shut the gate. One sheep. One sheep. One sheep. And they're kind of looking at us. See how easy this is? Watch this. Two sheep, and shut the gate. Two sheep, shut the gate again. Well, we're sitting there going, well, that looks pretty slick. This could take a while, though. Can we get up to three sheep? Three sheep, shut the gate. This is looking pretty good. Walt and Dad handling that one little gate. Finally, they open her up. Here comes three sheep. Wait a minute. Four sheep. Four sheep, five sheep, six sheep. The whole herd's coming through the gate. And that one string started rattling. Pop! And the fence went over on top of Walt and Grandpa Seeley. And the whole herd ran over these two legendary sheepherders. Now, I almost had to have first aid because I was laughing so hard and Lane was laughing so hard that we couldn't get our breath. I had never in my life seen such skill with getting one sheep out of the herd and then leaving it in the herd and handling it. But of course, we had to pick these two sheep herders up because they had fence marks across them and they were covered in sheep dung. And that was the end of it. They didn't want to talk about it anymore. And I kept saying, but what about that one sheep? End of story. Where'd my dogs go?